In Mark chapter 9, we have a little prelude, obviously, to Mark chapter 10. But in Mark chapter 9, Jesus asked his disciples what they were talking about, if not arguing about, as they walked along the way. They didn't want to tell him because they were having a discussion about which one of them was the greatest. In the next chapter, James and John, the brothers, the fishermen, come to Jesus and say, "Will you give us what we want?" And Jesus said, "Well, what do you want?" He said, "We want to sit on your right hand and your left hand when you come into your glory." And Jesus said, "Well, can you drink the cup that I'm about to drink? And can you be baptized with the baptism with which I'm going to be baptized?" And they said, "Certainly." And Jesus replied, saying, "Well, yes, as a matter of fact, you will be baptized with the baptism with which I'll be baptized. You'll drink the cup from which I will drink. But those positions of influence and prominence are prepared for those whom they have been reserved." When the other 10 found out about the two brothers that wanted positions of influence to be elevated, positions of prominence, they became upset. So Jesus called them all together. And Jesus said these words. He said, it's the Gentiles, the pagans, that want positions of influence, titles, so that they can lord it over people, heavy hand over people. He said, "Not so with you. For whoever wants to be great, let that one be a servant. And whoever wants to be first among the great, let that one be the slave of all. For the Son of Man," Jesus referring to himself. In fact, it's Jesus' most common title for himself. The Son of Man, more than 80 times in the Gospels. The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. Craig Blomberg, in his classic book, Jesus and the Gospels, says the high water mark in that book, the Gospel according to Mark, is Mark 10:45. If you want to be great, be a servant. And if you want to be first among the great, let that one be the slave of all. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. We talk a lot around the church house about servant leadership. There's nothing like it. Be a servant, set the example, be more like Jesus. And you know what's amazing? Is that the lane of greatness is really wide open. It is open to anyone who is willing to roll up their sleeves, to break a sweat, to work hard for Jesus in his kingdom's sake. Wow. For the Son of Man, Jesus, did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. God bless you. Have a good evening.